Hey everyone, it's Veronica and welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be all about story Bibles, whether it's online or a physical copy. Now, story Bibles can mean different things. Series Bibles, your planner, your outline, anything you really want to call it. But they all really have the same meaning. For me, story Bibles are what I use to have all my characters in, all my world building, and any sort of outlines, plots, and more, and research too, that I need to have and that is important to my story. And for me, I'm currently writing a fantasy book. However, you can use story Bibles for anything, any sort of genre, ranging from contemporary romance, horror, really anything you choose to use your story Bible for. In this video, I'm going to take you step by step on what you can include to your own story Bible. And I just want to say firsthand that you can definitely use any of these ideas for your own story Bible. None of these story Bibles are the same. They're completely different. You can't have the exact same story Bible as, say, another person. And I think that's great because you can use similar ideas, similar pages, note-taking, and they'll all be different. And the beauty of the story Bible is if you forgot something that's a part of your book, you can just quickly reference your story Bible and get the idea of what you need to add in your story next. Now, in this video, I'm going to take you on how to create your own physical story Bible and an online story Bible. So let's get started. So I've decided to bring you guys in a little bit closer to really see my physical story Bible. And the first thing I always have is, you don't have to have a binder for this, by the way. You can use a notebook, you can use loose leaf paper, anything you want as a story Bible. For me, binders are always convenient because they're easy to carry. I can insert my own page. I can do anything really. So the first thing I have is always my cover page, and I always write story Bible just in case I'm adding other types of notes in here that is not unrelated to my actual story. And at the top, I always have a tab here just for easy access, because I'm going to use this binder specifically for all types of story Bibles. Over here, I have my new Project Fairy, that I'm going to do soon for you guys all to see. And I just use blank pieces of paper, recycled paper though, and just write out my title. The next thing I have is always my characters. Characters are very important to me because I go really in depth with all my characters, and I try to make sure that I'm answering all my questions throughout my story in each section for my profile. And you can see here that I just have little tabs over here for main character, side character, and antagonists. That is important to me just so that I can go, oh hey, I want to go to my female main character, and I can just go flip and it'll be right here. If I want to go to my antagonist, the very person that I'm trying to defeat in the story, I'll go here, and I'll have all my characters here, and I'll have side characters and more. This is all very important to me because each page has all the information that I need. All the characters that I think that are going to be mentioned is here. Many people that don't show up, but if I ever mention them in my story, I want to physically know who's being mentioned, where, and why. Now, the next thing I have, besides my characters, which is a long one, my characters are always the longest page just because they're the most important, they're the most thought out of. For my world building, I have notes, research, and world building. World building is very important. I love to go all out in my worlds just to make sure that if I forgot to add a detail, I'll just write it down in my world building. Lots of these details are specifically where my book is set. My main research was all about the town that I will be using a lot. I also have my research. The town that I base my story on is a farming town. So I had to really get in depth with farming and different tools, crops, everything. I recently read Energy and Civilization by Václav Smil. That book specifically helped me with tools, the history of all these tools, the farming in general, but I didn't write that down because I can always reference that as I tabbed some of the pages. You can print out any sort of research, you can do anything with your story Bible, especially your research. I also have my magic system that I'm going to be mentioning in my story. It's all about my abilities and everything important. The next thing I want to add is my outline. My outline is one of the most important things I do for physical copy specifically. I'm only up to chapter 5 at the moment, but that's because I don't want to pile myself up with plot points if I might change it later. Now that is all for my physical story Bible. Now let's get on to my online story Bible. Welcome to my online story Bible. I use the software Scrivener specifically for my writing, my manuscript, and my story Bible. However, just because I use Scrivener doesn't mean you have to as well. You yourself can be using Google Drive or Microsoft Word or perhaps your favorite software that you like to use yourself. Now, as you can see here, we are finally on my story Bible, and I'm going to zoom you in. The main feature of Scrivener is that they have cards and they have the corkboard, which is where you can see all your things. Now if I click on characters on the side here, you'll find all my characters, and for world building I have my magic system, anything that are important, general ideas, my 2 towns. For story Bible I use templates, as you can see on the side here. My characters, I use the main character document that I got from Abby Emmons on her website that will be linked down below for side and main characters. Even the character questionnaire. Most of these are what I used to figure out and develop my characters. So for main characters, we have the basics: name, age, description, even personality type. Then we have internal, external, and character goals. For my main characters, I really went in depth with all of these because I wanted to be able to reference anything that I think I was going to mention in my story. And I also want my main characters to be able to have more depth and creativity to my stories. Next, I have my side characters. They're shorter, but they still have the basics. For backstories, I have my own template here, and this is the backstory scene that changed everything. However, not every one of my characters have this. Most of the time, I will simply use bullet point format to really understand, hey, what happened in the past? Why are you like this? For my antagonist, that's bullet point format. So not everyone is going to have the backstory or even the side character templates that I use in my template section. But all my characters have to have the main card as well as the backstory because I need to be able to understand what happened in their past. Next, let's talk about world building. You'll find the corkboard feature of my world building has my maps, my general information. Now, as mentioned before, I have my town here, the history. Now, for my main town, the general idea, but this all has different categories. And then we have geography and climate with its subcategories, the major cities and landmarks, the people, customs, maybe what they wear, what they say, superstitions, society and culture, class, hierarchy, government and politics, legal systems, world history, warfare. All these are very important general ideas for my town. And I also have town history. My town history is usually bullet points. I'll even add an image here and there. I also have the history, the important events here, as well as significant people that I know are important just in case I mention them in the future. Next, I have my farming research. This is important because this is where I can get some idea of what I need to input for all my information, and that's why they're important. Now, that is the main feature of all my templates and my world building. And that is the main thing I use my story Bible for, especially online. The main feature for Scrivener that I use is, besides the world building and the templates, is for the story Bible as well as the manuscript. I'm only physically writing my outline. There will be 3 acts, but I will be adding each act into sections when I physically get to that section so that I'm not too crowded in my writing, and as I move on I will actually have all my acts out. Welcome back, guys. We just finished going through my online and my physical story Bible. Now I would love to hear what you guys thought about story Bibles, whether you like the physical or online format of a story Bible, and I would love to hear all of that down below in the comments. Whether you guys want to use that for yourself, all the templates that I use are going to be linked down below for you guys to use too. Thank you guys for watching this story Bible, and if you guys want to see more on how I outline my stories and what I do to really work on my story, comment down below too on what you guys want to see next in my writing journey that I want to take with you guys. Thank you so much. I hope you guys like and comment down below and even hit that red subscribe button. I will fully appreciate that so much. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!